Hey folks, hope you're all having a nice Sunday. I hit legs earlier, so I thought I would throw up the videos and just talk you through a leg day. Hopefully, give you guys some ideas about programming, maybe form, intensity. That's why I do these things. A big focus I've been on at the moment is doing just focusing on intensity. Perhaps over the course of the year, I'll focus on different things like execution, form, but right now I'm focusing on intensity because I think intensity is the most difficult to discuss and describe unless you have visuals. So I really like to show the videos. That's been quite educational, it's quite helpful. That's why I do them. So my goal for every set is to make sure it's taken to, well, it's taken beyond failure. Failure for me is really where the set starts. I push intensity because my volume is quite moderate and my frequency is also quite moderate. So you have to push something. Full body routines tend to push frequency at the expense of maybe volume, but certainly intensity. Um, Bro splits sacrifice frequency, usually for intensity and volume. So you got to pick your poison. My frequency is every 4 or 5 days. My volume is about 7 or 8 sets per session. And so my intensity has to be pretty high. Okay. So it really is a case of you need to decide what combination works well for you. So what I tend to do is I'll tend to hit a set. Once I've failed, then I start the intensifiers. So I kind of talked through the last video, but we're doing leg extensions now. Let me kind of just talk you through what's going on. So I'll do the leg extensions. Now, when I hit failure, I'm going to start to do as many partials as I can. This leg extension it's not the best because if you look at where my leg ends, or where the range of motion ends, you see that's as far as it goes. It's not very far if you think about it. So you can't actually do a lot of partials because you don't get to go in the lengthened position. It's a bit of a shame about this machine. Jim Leco is an all right brand, but some of them, it's not as well thought out as, say, Cybex or Atlantis. So yeah, the big thing is when I do leg extensions on the Jim Leco machine, I just can't get into the lengthened position. So partials are kind of out of the question because generally when you do partials, it's normally in the lengthened position where you've got more strength. But I do what I can. So here you saw me doing a set. Maybe I think there was like one partial there, and then do a drop set. That's the general gist of things with things like extensions and curls. So here was leg curls. Leg curls on the lying leg curls is a little bit easier to do the partials on lying leg curls. It's just because you're in the lengthened position at the end there. So yeah. So that's kind of how I like to do things. In terms of my split at the moment, I've got a 4-way split. That guy behind me is a lad I chatted to while I was training. Good banter, good stuff. That's the nice thing about this gym. A lot of friendly people. So anyway, split at the moment is 4-way. Chest delts one day, back rear delts the next day, then arms and then legs. It's basically an extension of a push pull legs, just to give my arms a bit more focus and my delts a bit more focus. So yeah, I like it. It's good. So yeah, similar thing you saw here with the lying leg curls. I'm still doing partials and drop sets. Usually one drop set if I'm doing drop sets. Now, when it comes to compound exercises like the leg press, I was trying this one for the first time. I tend to find partials aren't that great because, well, the lengthened position here is the most difficult position. So if I did train to failure with a lengthened position, I'm going to be stuck without a partner. So I like rest pause here. Rest pause works very well. Really gets the legs fatigued. So I'll hit a set, usually try and fail in the 15 to 20 range. Then I'll rest for about 10 to 15 breaths and go again. So that could be 30 to 45 seconds. It's the classic DC training, Dante Trudel protocol. The reality is the protocol doesn't matter. Whether you do rest pause with like 2 mini sets, 4 mini sets, whatever rest you use, it doesn't really matter. The point is it's just an intensifier. I like to, if I'm doing volume on the lower side, and again, it's not low volume, it averages about 12 sets per body part per week, so it's not low. But it's moderate, I would say. I tend to jack up the intensity a little bit. I find I can jack up the intensity a little bit when I'm doing slightly less frequency. If I was to do this twice a week, for example, that wouldn't be so good. But yeah, every 4 or 5 days, it feels pretty good. So yeah, this was the top set, and I will do a couple of rest pauses. But it felt great. My legs were, after this and the leg extensions, my quads were already pretty battered. I had to go upstairs for the next exercise, and I was a bit wobbly going upstairs. Now that's a good sign. If you can get your legs wobbly after 4 sets each of quads and hams, that's a very good sign. It means that you have worked hard. You want to see the strength drop off. Okay. Um, yeah. I'll say at this point something which shouldn't really need saying, but there's nothing better or worse. I know you guys watch YouTube and you're very used to people giving you very definitive messages like, I prioritize intensity because that's the best thing. Volume is rubbish. If you've tuned into my channel for any length of time, you know that's not me. Okay, there are certain things which I'll call out as being stupid, and I have done in the past. But when it comes to training variables, a lot of things work. So if you wanted to push higher volumes with maybe a rep or two in the tank, if it's genuine, then that's okay. If it's a genuine 1 or 2 reps in reserve, it's probably okay. That's not my interest, though. I've tried that approach. I tried it for a long time, actually. I tended to find it caused more joint issues for me. Ironically, higher volumes, less train to failure actually caused me more joint issues because I was just under load for longer. It's very good for growing, don't get me wrong, but wasn't that great for the joints. I found particularly my elbows and knees tend to get beat up. By the way, first time in a long time doing specific glute work. I really enjoyed it. It's quite good. This gym has got 4 glute machines. So I picked this one, which I think was a Nautilus. Really good. Did a couple of sets. Both sets were extended with rest pause. Now I'll say one more thing quickly before the next clip. In terms of standardization, I only count the first part of the set. I've said this lots of times before, but it's the easiest way to standardize your efforts. So by all means, do the partials, do the rest pause, do all the crazy stuff. But for standardization purposes, only count the first part of the set, which is your full reps. That's all. Because who really is going to count the partials? Like, how much of the partial was it? Was it a big partial, small partial, blah, 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 rest pause, how much rest, all that stuff. It's not worth it. Now, this was the piece de resistance. This machine is the best hack squat I have ever used in my entire life. I've been looking for one of these pieces of equipment in England for years. I see Nick Walker doing these all the time. So that's one thing him and I have in common. But basically it's a hack squat where you can extend the seat so you can sit more upright. Just makes it so much easier to get really nice, deep positions. Look at that. That's amazing. And it's so good on the knees. Feels great. I'm going to put some serious work into the machine. By the end of the year, if I'm not at least 4 to 4.5 plates, I will be a sad bunny. Yeah, that's the goal. Really, that's what this first week or two was about. We're just getting used to new routines. So I've now officially done 2 rotations of my split at this new gym. So 8 training sessions. And from tomorrow, I restart from day 1, chest and delts, trying to improve and beat everything. That's the goal. So yeah, really enjoying it. This machine, my God, just superb. So I'm probably going to alternate between this for this session's main quad hitter and then the pendulum squat for the previous session. I think you've got to have one big hitter. And obviously using instinctive principles, making sure that I change things around if I don't feel good on the day, something hurts. Now, another thing I've been building up on is RDLs, just to kind of give the lower back some work. Some of you might be aware I've had some lower back issues due to a biking accident back in 2020. It's mostly okay, but it kind of comes and goes. So I'm just rebuilding back up with RDLs. This was 110 kilos, I think. What was that? 25. Oh shit! No, I've completely misloaded this. No wonder it felt heavy. Holy fuck! That was 150 kilos. Okay, I was only supposed to put on 110. God, what an idiot. Right. Anyway, 150. I couldn't take any videos because because the posing rooms were taken. They were blocked for like half an hour. These girls were in there in both posing rooms. So that was a shame, real shame. But well, what can you do? So in the end, I just left. But that is a leg shot from Arm Day a couple of days ago. So there you go. Hopefully you all are doing well. Thank you as always for tuning into my videos. And yeah, if you have any questions, drop them in. If you're interested in coaching, drop me a message. I hope you're all having a really good start to your year, 2024, new year. Hope you're all happy, healthy, and yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon. All the best. Take care.